I know that smell. It's undistinguishable. It can only be one thing. It's money! Money, money, money! Oh, God, me boy, that feels so good. And you know what, guys? In this video, I'm going to teach you how I plan to make over $500,000 in profit during this Q4 with my dropshipping brands as we head into my 7th Q4. I know, I'm an unk. And what I believe is going to be the new meta for dropshipping in 2026. Because a lot has evolved this year. I mean, just last year, the meta was all about UGC and quick little shrine product pages. And if you're still testing that way, you are pissing money down the drain. And what I believe is going to be the future is two specific variables. Now, I'm going to reveal and we're going to fully break down because if you start implementing this, I swear it is going to be insane the money you can make. A lot of you are going to make over $100,000 in profit over the next 3 months, even if you've never had a winning product or ad or website. If you start focusing on these things today, instead of wasting your time on all of these little quick hacks, like what button should I press in my ad account to start printing money, or what AI prompts can I just copy and paste so that I don't have to do any work? You need to stop all this bullshit of looking for quick little hacks and shortcuts to make money and realize you have to be focusing on the real principles that actually lead to consistent profits. And that is realizing that the simple answer why you have not had a winning product at this point is because your ads suck and your product page sucks. So how can we improve those two variables? Well, I'm going to give you one solution for each one of those things that if you start implementing today and focus on the execution, you will get that winning product this Q4. Now, the biggest thing I've been noticing on the ad side that is right now just going insanely hard is this new format of ads, which is native style images. Now, there's a few ways you can execute this. I know you've probably seen this in your YouTube with a few other videos. I know there's a few channels covering this, but this is definitively all the different styles you can do. And we're going to talk about how to do the headlines, how to do the images for every product you test so that you can start crushing with these style of ads. So the first style that I've been noticing with these native images is doing a style where the whole image is the desired result that your customer wants. So in this case, we have a hair growth supplement. So in the first one, we have, here's our model. She looks great. And then we have the product in the corner. Or you can do another model who looks great. She's older. And then we have a little problem, or it could be the desired result, which is having that more thick scalp head of hair. So this style I absolutely love. And then notice in the headline, with all of these native style image ads, a lot of times they're going to have a headline that creates curiosity, either by using social proof or typically by calling out that this is going viral in some sorts, which is also a form of social proof, to really be honest. So this first style is really social proof headline paired with the desired result as the image. Now the next style, this is doing more of it is somewhat social proof as well, but it's first a product image as the full image, and then usually leveraging some sort of authority figure as the social proof. So in this case, we have a Japanese doctor. Obviously, it's a health product, so it makes sense that we have a doctor here. And then we have the desired result in the headline. If you want to get rid of those heavy metals and feel refreshed daily, you need to start using these foot pouches. Now, for this Michelin blade right here, yes, this is used in Michelin Star Kitchen. So obviously, that is the authority figure that if I'm someone that wants to find the best blade, I want to use obviously what the best people are using, which in this case would be the Michelin Starred Kitchens. Now, think about that realistically with the product that you're selling. If I'm selling, let's say, a golf trainer, well, I know the authority figure. I want to be using the same equipment that the pros are using. So I would maybe call out a specific golfer. I'd maybe say PGA professionals in general. But it's a good thought experiment that when you're trying to make these native style image ads, how can I have a headline where I'm basically just saying, this is the product, this is what the authority figures, Olympians, athletes, celebrities are using to get a desired result. So this new hair supplement is what all these celebrities, older celebrities are doing to have a thick, full hairline into their 60s or 70s. So that is a great thought experiment. Now, another format. This is that you're probably the most common format you're seeing in a lot of these YouTube videos. And it does work incredibly well, where you have a native style image of either the problem, the desire, or the product. So it's either one of those three. But typically you want to find the most visceral image that is just incredibly native. And when you look at it, it just stops your scroll. And that's typically going to be the problem, because if you're selling a product with acne, you can have some images you find off of Google Images of really bad acne. If you have, yes, in this case, I mean, golly, look at those heels. Crusty as hell. But yeah, if you have dry, cracked heels, finding an image of that problem and finding a very visceral, very worst case scenario image of what it can be when you have this problem, because that is going to create the fear in your audience of, oh my God, this could be what my life looks like. So I have to take action. So you're identifying them through this specific image of the worst case. And then typically, this is where it really gets fancy, is that the ad copy is going to be a little bit longer. You're usually going to get into a story. So you can use Claude, you can use ChatGPT once you do the market research and actually understand for your product, who is your avatar, what is their core desires, what are their core problems. And then through that, you can then plug into Claude or ChatGPT, wherever you're using, example ad copies from brands that are already doing this structure. So a brand that I found really simple, if you just look up any problem, hair loss, skincare, whatever it is, you're going to find brands that are doing this style right now. We can see right here, look at this brand. So Try Everly. They have this AI image of some mom who looks depressed. Clearly her son probably said some incriminating things to her. And in the ad copy, it's very long. It's just a very specific scenario of what their current life is like. And it's so hyper specific to their daily frustrations, to their daily struggles, that obviously when you read through this whole entire thing, it's going to make you want to click the link and go to the landing page to learn more. So this is where, if you're doing this style where it is just the image, you are going to need a longer ad copy. However, if you're doing these styles of image ads right here, where you already have the really engaging kind of clickbaity, curiosity driven headline with the right image, you don't need the large ad copy. But what you are going to need is to pair it with the right landing page. Because with a regular product page, this style of ad, which is crushing, doesn't tend to work super well on its own. You are going to need a landing page that has a little bit more information, because typically one of the biggest problems I'm seeing in the dropshipping and just e-commerce space in general is increased skepticism. A lot of people have tried a lot of different things and they have not worked for them. So you need to succinctly give them the social proof and the information. And a lot of times a regular product page does not do that to handle all of their objections and the skepticism that they have around your product. So before we get into those landing pages, let's just cover the final way you can do this. So this is from BuzzFeed. I love studying them. So they tend to do, here's just a natural, here's where you'll be using the product. So if it's a knife, obviously in the kitchen, just wherever you're going to use the product. So natural UGC image paired with a headline, which typically calls it a hyper-specific benefit or problem that the customer wants. So you can see this product is for people whose eyes twitch when they see clutter. So it's a hyper-specific way of saying the messaging of either the problem or the desire. Now, the way you're going to come up with messaging and headlines like this is you typically need to read reviews on Amazon, on Reddit threads, watching videos on Calidata. That is my sauce. I love watching videos on Calidata and TikTok on my product where people are reviewing it and they're saying specific benefits and problems in such a relatable way that you can use that in your headlines when you are creating these styles of image ads. Now, the final way you can also get great headlines, go into a tool like Atria, plug in brands that are running these types of image ads. For instance, we can do Hike Footwear, and it will break down their creatives as to their headlines they're mainly using, the landing pages, and that's going to be helpful for the next step. But a tool like Atria is such a great resource because when you are a new dropshipper and you haven't had a winning ad, you have to study what the big boys are doing if you were going to make a winning ad as well. And typically the main things you want to study when you're analyzing their top performing ads is what was the angle they used? What was the hook? What was the headline? And how can we templatize these? So the angle, they did problem solution. Okay, that's the template. Okay, for hook, they said, if you want desire in specific time frame, that is essentially what they were trying to say. Okay, for the headline, they were trying to say, this product helps with this benefit. So you try to templatize everything that you're seeing. That's how you really study and then use it for your own personal gain. So let's just look at some headlines. So this Hike Footwear, they do I think they've done 500 million over the last 2 to 3 years. It's absolutely insane. And they've tested so many different angles. So their best headline, product for desire. So if I'm selling a skincare product, I could say, I think it's like turmeric soap for healthy, happy skin. It's simple, but if it works for them, it can work for us. So you're noticing these headlines and then you try to templatize this. And if you have trouble with templatizing, you can plug in a headline into Claude or ChatGPT and it will help templatize so that you can plug in and just plug in the placeholders of, okay, I have a product, I've done the research, here are the desires, here are the problems, let me plug it into my headlines, bada bing, bada boom, we are efficient. Super, super simple. Now, going into our next step. So that is the first thing on the ad side that you can do to make a difference and get an edge. But as I mentioned earlier, when it comes to websites, it is getting a little bit harder and you do need to put a bit more information and social proof to handle the objections your customer has. Now, if you are still using a regular product page, that can work. In fact, this Arctic Goddess brand, these were from the creators of, I believe, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on names. Tribal Queen, I believe, is the owner of this brand. And Tribal Queen, they do literally millions every single month. So this is their new brand. And I want you to take a look at the amount of social proof. Social proof is literally everywhere because that is the meta right now. You have to handle objections, and the only way you can do that is through tons of third-party social proof. So on the first image, they have big claim, and then we have social proof. I'm not affiliated. So again, they're trying to really prove that this is a real thing, and it has helped me melt 15 pounds. That is the desired result. Okay, we scroll down. Before and afters of that desired result of melting that fat away. Arctic Goddess in weeks. As we scrolling down, we have, obviously, I wouldn't recommend faking the magazine thing, but a lot of people will just put logos, but they actually have quotes from actual magazines. So it's a way more believable social proof. And as we keep on scrolling down, they have this is exactly how your body's going to feel, how to use, really good, more before and after stories, more social proof in terms of the survey, and also social proof at the bottom. And these are AI images, let's be honest. Yeah, you ain't fooling anyone there, buddy. But this is the main thing that I'm tweaking on a lot of my regular product pages nowadays, is even adding more social proof than I've originally done and really thinking, how can I try to make it as believable and trustworthy as possible? And that's typically by the specificity of it. Thinking about visually, what are the visuals people need to see? If I have a product where you can visually see the difference, I need to have that everywhere. When I have a product where you can't visually see the difference, I need to have copy that is so pinpoint to, again, what we just talked about earlier, to the desires and the problems they have, so that my customers relate. They realize, oh my God, this person was exactly like me. Therefore, I'm going to trust this brand compared to everyone else where I read their reviews and it's just the most copy and pasted ChatGPT crap I've seen a million times over. Now, the other thing we can do, and I want to review just one more product page before we get into the real big hack of this. SolarWave, love them. Take a look at the social proof. We have video reviews here from an authority figure. We have before and afters with text reviews, so you can easily see here's the difference. And as we keep on scrolling down, here's why it's better than all the alternatives, which is a key objection. They are handling objections in every single section. More video reviews, the survey. Guys, you're noticing a trend, you're noticing a pattern. These are must-have sections. And then we have social proof from real authority figures, which are doctors in this case, and even more social proof at the bottom. So that's the consistent theme that I'm noticing for 2026 that is going to separate you. But the last thing on the website side, if you are doing these native style image ads, a lot of times the superpower best funnel you can do is an ad to a pre-sale page before you go onto your hyper optimized product page. This is becoming the new meta. So in terms of what is a pre-sale page, it's usually a landing page that you're going to make inside of Funnelish, Gem Pages, or Pagefly. Get good at one of those and you'll be able to create anything you want, or you can just hire a product page designer off of Fiverr or Upwork, send them a link to whatever competitor product page that you want to model, and they can build it literally for like $50. That's what I personally do. But Grunz, I would say, is the best example of a company that uses landing page, and they have so many different types of these pre-sale pages. Now, typically the different types are advertorials, listicles, and us versus them. Those are usually the three biggest styles. So this isn't us versus them. So 11 ways Grunz is better than AG1, which is their main competitor. And as you can see, all these pages are formatted the same, where it's usually an image on the left or right, and then text on the left or right, which is 1 to 2 sentences for each point. Okay, Grunz is precisely dose. Here's 1 to 2 sentences about that. Here's another advantage. It's sugar-free. Here's why that matters. And then we can see we have images, quick little points, and they have 11 reasons. You don't need to do 11 reasons. You can just do 5 to 7 reasons as to why people love your product. Now, obviously, this is designed super well. You may be thinking that's why it's converting well. No. It is simply because they know here are the main reasons why people would buy our product. It's less expensive than this. It's great nutrition, travel friendly, blah, 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 blah. These are the targeted messages that they know after doing a ton of research as to the main points why people will buy this product. Now, where do you get inspiration for landing pages so that you can templatize and make your own? Hopping back over to Atria, go to your best brands, and they have the landing pages that they are consistently using. These top brands are using to send their traffic to on their ads. They even give you the percentage. So let's take a look. We have 18%, 5%. So top 10 reasons. Beautiful. Right here, we can model this. So we got customer images, quick, catchy headline. Pet Lab Co. is another great one that I would also take a look and we can recommend. But this is really dog shit design. But again, it's the copy that makes this work. Every single point is a main point that your customers care about. This is how they differentiate themselves from their competitors and other types of products that people may consider. So it's a wide toe box compared to normal shoes. It's lighter than other shoes. It helps with these, which other regular shoes don't do. It gives you that comfort and support that other shoes don't do. So basically, when you're doing these pre-sale pages, you are giving them the reasons in a very digestible way as to why your product is the easiest, fastest, most affordable solution. And you throw in multiple forms of social proof to back the claims. Super easy. And then typically, yes, this will go directly to their product page. Let's see. I don't know. Probably does. I'm no genius. I'm no psychic. And there we go. It goes to the regular product page. And then typically people aren't even going to need to see the rest of your product page. They're already going to be convinced because your pre-sale page did such a great job of convincing the customers that were unaware about all the information they needed to know why they truly needed that product, your product, in their life. So those are the main things. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I know it's a little shorter, but those are the main two things that I'm personally focusing on with my dropshipping brands, doing more native style image ads and doing more pre-sale pages of advertorials and listicles. And I'm getting all my inspiration and I'm building these templates inside of my one-on-one program by studying the best brands on Atria. We are now adding inside of our program. So if you do just want access to all of our winning landing pages and all of the image ad plug and plays, because we are now adding these native style images in along with video ads, because you have to have a mix of both, then you can join my one-on-one program down below where you get access to all my ad templates, my winning product page templates, and get 5 group coaching calls with yours truly where I will review your products, your websites, your ads, everything you're doing. And I guarantee you'll hit $1,000 a day in the next 6 months, or we'll keep coaching you for free until you do. So if you want to work with me, links in the first in the description. And if you do want to get access to a few other resources completely for free, then join my Discord down below.